Start myself up.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to hopefully the final episode of Chrono Trigger. That'd be kind of sick if it was. I guess I just didn't save when we got into Lavos.
I swear you did. I thought I remember
I thought I did an auto. I thought I did a save state, right?
Yeah.
Well, I loaded this. This is the last save state. Like you can I can even show you. It's like 20.
No, was it in game with the green sparkles? That's what I thought you did.
Was there green sparkles in Lavos?
Yes.
Oh
yes,
well,
yes.
then I overwrote that by loading a save state.
Ah.
I don't know. I thought it was a lot of. I should have did both. Is what I should have done.
Yes.
Lavos.
I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, there it is. I mean, luckily this wasn't too difficult from what I remember.
Unless I completely botch it today somehow.
Please don't do that.
Well, I insta-killed 2 of his things, so I don't know what's happening. Go for it, my friend.
Yay to the end! But the end is never the end, is never the end.
So, okay, so streams have apparently moved from 1 a.m. for me to now close to 2 a.m. Awesome. Hey, Mikey, good news.
You'll be happy to know.
Yes,
Yeah.
based on feedback and also just like general scheduling stuff, it seems like starting next week, hopefully we finish Chrono Trigger today, because that's the plan, right? Next week we'll be starting Professor Layton and the Spectre's Call, and we will be streaming at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So way further in the other direction. It'll be like smack dab in just like the day.
But guess what, Mikey? It'll be 100% perfect for you.
Yeah, so get hyped for that, I guess.
We're getting hyped. Oh, do you want me to like pull up the guide still?
For what?
I don't know, whatever we have left.
No. Like we have no side quests or anything. We're fine.
No, I know. I was like, I don't know whether or not there was anything else we need to miss, but from what I remember, I think you just need to touch that whatever that portal thing was, and
I think
we do whatever that is.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Slurping beam. Oh.
Slurping bean.
Oh.
Oh. I will have to leave at some point to go eat food because that still has to happen. Unlike Zach, who apparently has his meals at like 9 p.m.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have food at 5, like a normal person.
Until he sometimes ends and says like, I need to go eat dinner at the end of...
That's different. That was if I'm busy.
Oh, okay.
Sure. I really try to not complain since I do understand time zones and whatever, and I was able to tolerate 1 a.m. since it wasn't too bad with this. I can't make it. Motherfucker, do you listen to what we just said? We just said that starting next week we're gonna be streaming at 10 a.m. our time. Fucking listen.
Which you'll have to do the conversion.
I don't know what time zone you live
Mikey,
in,
but from what I've observed,
it'll be
for
8
you,
hours. It'll be 8 hours earlier in the day. No, actually,
10 a.m. PST is 2 a.m. for you?
No, he's saying it's 2 a.m. right now. Fucking now
you
need to listen, Saba. What the fuck is your problem?
It's called context, okay?
The context was the first thing he said in the chat. I know you know how to read, motherfucker.
No. You don't know, okay? You don't know anything about me. Well, thank you, Mike. I'll stretch. I do wonder what time it is.
Ah! I say we
It's,
wouldn't know.
I think what happened was that it's 2 a.m. for Mikey, so he was so focusing on writing that paragraph or like the sentence, 2 sentences
That he just
before,
wasn't listening.
that he just wasn't listening.
I mean, I can't blame. That's fine. All right, everybody's hasted. Get ready, because this motherfucker is going to get eviscerated.
Kill him!
Working on it, boss.
Make sure you don't die.
I need you to stop.
Make sure you
that.
don't die.
Well, I mean, I didn't expect him to deal 300 plus damage through barrier. That's crazy. Get him again. That was easy. So anyway, is this the start of Lavos, or is it a save state from last time? So apparently I had done a manual save, but luckily this was right at the end of the Lavos fight anyway, so we just caught up real quick. Now we get to go inside Lavos.
Oh, shoot.
See, look at that. Only a couple minutes, and there you go. We're already back to where we were last week. God, that heartbeat is so cool. There we go. I'm gonna do a manual save, and then
Gotta save.
and then I'm gonna do a file save state. Let's do 0. Why not? Super emergency one, just in case. I hear the heart accelerating as we get closer.
Oh yeah. Wait, did you touch the portal, right?
No, that's to leave if I wanted.
No. I think you should do that though.
Okay.
I think you should do it just in case, okay? You gotta see this you gotta see it just in case it's content.
Wow, who would have guessed? Can you believe it? We're back.
Yeah, but let's talk to people, okay?
Okay, whatever you say. I know sprite-based games have made a comeback and stuff with like Octopath and such, but I really do miss this era of gaming. You and me both, buddy. I mean, you know, we don't need to harp on it again, and like hopefully we'll be ending stream a little bit early today, so Saba and I could probably just talk about this in general. But like, style perseveres. You know, having an actual aesthetic and style to your game that isn't just fidelity through and through is always going to leave leave charm in its wake. You know what I mean? Like, even to the point, like, that's one of the modern like things that kind of baffles me slightly, but I kind of get it, is like the PlayStation 1 / early PlayStation 2 aesthetic, like the low poly aesthetic or whatever. Like, it's crazy that is persevering more than like the Xbox 360, PS3 era like fidelity. You know what I mean? Because that's a style. Like, that was a limitation that led to a style. And so it's just like, yeah, games like this, Octopath Traveler, Live Alive, you know. I do miss them.
Yeah.
I do miss them. Your death was owed to weakness. Wow. Good
I'm
job.
sorry, buddy. You're kind of delusional.
Do you need my brain power?
She's like, you died and you don't need me?
Chrono. My Lavos. boring here. No, Chrono take Isla. I know 3D graphics with high detail and whatever is the norm now, but years later, this game still looks amazing. Sorry to say, but years or even decades from now, stuff like Insomniac Spider-Man, for example, are going to look dated. That's kind of what I'm saying, you know? Like, even if you go back to, like, Gears of War 1 looks pretty good, I guess. It's just, like, its style is just so bland. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like, Crisis 1 was lauded as being like super super high fidelity, and it is, but it's like it feels just like every other fucking high fidelity game, you know what I mean? Like they all start bleeding together, I guess is what I'm saying. Like I don't know, and I know for a fact that like 3D is not the problem, right? It's the lack of style that's the problem, because Hi-Fi Rush is a game that's in 3D, and that game has style to spare, and it's going to maintain its aesthetic. You know what I mean? I know Insomniac Spider-Man is a wild example, since I know it looks amazing, but it's all I could think of. No, but I get what you're saying in spirit. You know what I mean?
I think that's the thing with, like, high fidelity games, right? Where the goal, I feel like, for a lot of companies is to be like, whoa, we're like the highest fidelity that could ever, exist at current point in time, and look how close we are to reality. But, it's never perfect, and I think that's going to be the thing that really, in the future, people will look back on to be like, really, we cared about it looking so perfect, when it's like whatever it is in the future is obviously going to be better than what it is like now.
Well, if I could respond to that, I would say two things. One, and this comes from a deeply pessimistic place. I think your average person who doesn't pay attention to anything beyond like what they're eating for, what they're eating that day, and when they're going to bed, they don't notice. Like they don't recognize these. They don't recognize these patterns at all. They just see like, ooh, this looks really good, and they don't think of like why it looks good, or like, not like, because there's a difference. Like there's no such thing as like looking good, quote, in the right way, but it's just like, that. And then the second thing that I was gonna say was that a lot of the like super high fidelity things, like the Call of Duty Warzone and the Battlefield 1942s and stuff like that. These games that are like super high fidelity, they're mostly for shareholders, because shareholders are fucking stupid, and so they'll look at something and be like, yeah, that looks really good, so you can have money now. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's why it's like. Yeah. It's like there's such a strong what is it? There's such a strong motive, or like it's like benefit. There's just a strong benefit to having like a stylized game, because it's like, not only if it's stylized, if it's a style people have not seen, not only does that make it unique, but as like kind of we're talking about it, but it would just make it so that it could just be potentially timeless, right? Because it does not rely on
a specific like technology.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or at least people's awareness of it. It doesn't do, because it's like, whatever, maybe it can, but to people who don't know, it's like, ooh, it's just cool looking. The only thing I would say, Mikey, in terms of, because I know I see you say sprite games have so much more life to them compared to 3D models. I would say like 2D. Like for me, sometimes sprite games feel a little too like small. Like sometimes I do like to see details. But I will like render to say that, like, I usually like 2D art usually more often. Sometimes 3D does like can do pretty good, but it's like for people who take a lot of time to make it like stylized, that I'm like, I think you can get there, but I think for us, I think that we just know a lot of people's default is just 3D, so it's kind of like annoying,
because it's so much easier to work with, like from a production standpoint, right? Like I was literally talking about this in the community Discord the other day, not our community Discord, but the community Discord I joined for the area that I moved to. I was saying this in the community Discord the other day, where it's like, the number, like I really should sit down and make a list of sequels where the first game super solid like 2D slash pixel art style, and then the follow up is just like generic 3D. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot.
Mhm.
There is a lot of sophomore games that do that because it is true. 3D is way easier to work with. But I do also want to say, for the three of us that are having this conversation, we do also have to keep in mind that a lot of our affection for sprite work is survivorship bias. Back in the day when sprites were default, dude, there were some dog shit video games with dog shit art. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
so it's like, you know, because obviously none of us are saying like, oh, sprite work and 2D art is by default better. Like, clearly none of us are saying that. But it's just like a lot of the affection is because the stuff that we are exposed to is the stuff that was worth keeping around, you know?
I think there's also a thing where it's like in the past where we had more like different types of 3D games. Like the 3D games I played actually varied in style, right? So it's like whatever. I'll talk about farming sims, right? But it's like the farming sims that I played back then, like the characters visually looked much more varied to the characters I see now. Now it's a lot more like generic anime looking people, and I'm like, it doesn't look bad, but it's like there was a charm that it had in the past where everyone kind of looked a lot more varied, and those are like 3D models. So just to throw it in there that it once, so it's like I'm not completely biased. Oh, you did it!
I fucking killed Specchio!
You did it!
The gratuity set?
That.
1 magic capsule, 1 speed capsule, 1 straight capsule, and 10 elixirs!
And Zach was
Fuck
like,
yeah!
going and doing all this extra stuff.
What can I say? I'm the master of war. Dude!
That was fun.
Dude, that's awesome! Alright, well, I know who's getting the speed capsule, because she needs it. Dude, look at her speed. Chrono's speed is star, and Marl's is 8. I mean, the problem is what Obo said earlier about having style to them. I don't think an art style like Chrono Trigger would work with 3D models instead of sprites. Purely because I feel sprites tell more of a story than 3D models. I want to agree, but I want to give a small caveat, and I have a perfect example. Pokemon's transition to 3D, because like straight up, I was watching a video earlier. I was watching a video earlier where it was this guy who was doing like math based on where he was like, what Pokemon should be able to produce light, like, you know, light up a cave, and obviously it was mostly fire types, right? But there was a part of the video, and he doesn't mention it, but it's like it really cemented it for me. You know the new the new final evolution of the fire type, the Skeledirge, like the fire crocodile guy.
Mm-hmm.
He had an idle animation in the video that he just had of Skeledirge with just like visible flames coming out of its mouth. Dude, they look like fucking tentacles. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And like that is a really, really good example where it's like the human brain is so good at filling the gaps of stuff, right? Like way back in the day, like Pokemon Emerald was obviously where I started the series, so obviously I'm super biased. But like way back then, when you had like that and Fire Red and Leaf Green, and even like, you know, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, like all that jazz, and you just had the sprites that did like 2 to 3 frames of animation, it was enough to really get your brain to the place where you could fill in the blanks with whatever you wanted it to be. You know what I mean? It's like sprites and artwork of that nature just naturally lends to just free affection from your viewers, because they will just fill in the blanks with whatever they wanted it to be. You know what I mean?
The only caveat I will say is that even though it's like I like mainly also agree, but I think the thing is we should never be close to the possibility. I think there could be a variation where it could work. It's just I don't believe any of us have ever like, or maybe we don't remember currently. I just don't think we've seen it So that's why we just
what are you referring
like
to?
an example of it being like so successful that we're like we could imagine it.
No, but what's it? What is it?
It being
scenario?
like a conversion to like 3D.
Oh, okay, understood. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
like,
I'm trying to think because like an example that is both to me, like a bad conversion and a good conversion is Hyperlight Drifter to Hyperlight Breaker. Because Hyperlight Drifter, one of the most beautiful fucking pixel art games, backed it on Kickstarter way back in the day. I love the way that game looks, and I don't think that Hyperlight Breaker is a good conversion of that style, but it does have a really good style of its own. It's just not the same thing because it doesn't work the same, obviously, right? Like the art styles aren't equivalent.
So it's like,
and that's like, that's as close as I
know.
can think in my mind, I guess.
Yeah, so it's like I always say like there may always be a possibility. I just don't think it's ever been hit, and that's why we tend to, or and it's not even it hasn't been done. A lot of the stuff we have seen have like we're just like wow, this is an utter garbage like translation of a past beloved style into an attempt to 3D, and I think that just makes us all like bitter as well, which is another reason why why we're just like, you know, this sucks and we don't like it.
You know what else? Now I'm thinking about it. Because I want to reiterate that like 3D is not inherently the issue, right? It's lack of style. Because you know a game is in 3D and looks fucking beautiful to this day? Shadow of the Colossus. You know? Like that game looks incredible and will like far into the future.
Like Witcher 3 as well in terms of the like I sent you the video of like the environment.
True. To be fair, I do think the video you showed me was using texture mods, but it did look great.
It just the video was also really funny because of him like comparing stuff and whatever the ending was, but yeah, it's really just so weird.
I always prefer my brain filling in the blanks by sprite work instead of 3D models that outright tell me what the expression is supposed to be. I firmly understand. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say clearly I think all of us are in agreement here, and it's just like I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like I don't know. Talented people will make what they want. You know what I mean? Like especially now that we're getting into an era where like indie games do kind of have the space to be successful. Like successful indie games are happening more frequently, but the number of indie games that are coming out is vastly outpacing that increase. But it still means that we get to experience a lot of really, really good indie games that do have this kind of like style over fidelity, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
Like a really good example, let me bring it up real quick. Hopefully my
need to remember at least in my mind, fidelity doesn't mean quality, it just means trying to look realistic.
But to a lot of people it does because they can't think past the brain fog that plagues them, you know what I mean? And that's the part that frustrates me, where like there's way too many people the world over who look at something and be like, it looks like, ooh, sparkles whenever I slash my blade. This game looks incredible. And it's like, does it? Or did they just put a lot of money into its VFX? Like, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, so sorry. The game that had, I think it came out like either last week or the week before. I'm trying to get it so you could take a look at it. Did I skip over it? I think I did. You can't see this, can you, what I'm doing?
Yeah. No,
you can?
Not you. No, not you. I was reading Mikey's thing. You're totally right, Mikey. Everything.
Can you read it out loud for the rest of the class?
I can read the first part. I'm sorry. It's actually cut off. It's kind of long.
Okay. I mean, there's never going to be a concrete agreement of what works and what doesn't, since at the end of the day, art is very subjective. Of course, yeah. And stuff that looks amazing to me could look like crap to someone else. Exactly, I agree.
And it's like, you know, I don't think we disagree. Sometimes high fidelity stuff can look beautiful. I think for us, it's that like, it's just an all-consuming trend that's resulted in very few or a lack of balance and like stylized things to the point though where it's almost like, oh, high fidelity stuff is the future, and it's just like, okay, now you're not speaking correctly, and it's kind of annoying now to have to hear these things. It's stuff like that, you know, because at the core of it, it's like, no, high fidelity stuff isn't bad. It could look amazing. There you go. Take off. And look, we're now even better prepared.
But how do I get?
Once you go touch the bucket, like, shit, can you get out of the Epoch? Isn't there like a bucket you can touch that just takes you to Lavos?
I guess that's true.
Yeah, the top right guy. Yeah, that's where we came from.
Is it?
From what I recall. From what I recall, yeah, that's where we popped out from.
Well, is this going to put us back inside of him, or are we going to be outside again?
I mean, I assume it would put us back inside of him.
I'm not looking forward to you making me redo the entire boss fight because his head grew back. I feel this could branch off to be its own topic, but that's why I'm extremely mixed on remakes, since I feel regardless of how faithful they try to stay, something is going to be lost along the way. I could disagree, because I have personally, I am a huge fucking fan of like Diablo 2, for example, right? The remake of Diablo 2, because it wasn't trying to remake the original. I think if you're trying to remake exactly what the original was, I think you're going to miss, because you can't do that, right? Like, that's not realistically possible. What the Diablo 2 remake did was it perfectly replicated what your brain remembers about the first game, which is like awesome. So like it looks way better, runs way better, has like, you know, little quality of life things. What you're saying,
Zach, though, is like, what is the intention behind the remake? You know?
Well,
I think that helps. Or
like, but what I'm saying, yeah, but what I'm saying, I guess, is that like, I wouldn't shy away from the idea of remakes in general, because I do think that remakes are important. You know, just because like, I don't know, there are definitely some games that are worth playing that are hard to go back to.
But no, let me ask, because this is I think this is actually going to be interesting. What are our thoughts on Final Fantasy VII's remake?
Well, Final Fantasy VII is like, it's such a deceptive thing, because the Final Fantasy VII
is different.
Yeah, because it's literally not the it's literally not the same game, and that's on purpose, right?
Yeah,
so, like, that's not,
isn't, but
so that
like,
doesn't count.
Kind of putting that part aside, right? It's like, did we think?
No, but that's the whole part. It's not a remake, so it doesn't even fit into the category. Like, if they had,
I don't know. I still think we could, like, bring it up,
truthfully. Well, I'm not saying that you're wrong for bringing it up. I'm saying, like, if they had truthfully, literally just recreated the story of Final Fantasy VII using that, like, super, like aesthetically pleasing art style, that would be a remake, and then I think the discussion could move forward. But it's literally a different game. Like, it has a different narrative and a bunch of new content. You know what I mean? I haven't played Final Fantasy VII at all, but from what I've heard, they've split the game itself into separate games. Well, so the original Final Fantasy VII was such an enormous game that it did actually come on 3 discs. Like, the original one way back in the day had 3 discs. So now they're doing that again, but with AAA games each time.
How much, like, visual information, like, has been given in the games to know whether or not, like, oh, the remake version already had the tools in order to make, like, it look as it does.
I don't know. Currently. I don't understand the statement. I'm sorry.
So it's like, was there like full sprite artwork that was detailed enough that essentially just made the 3D modeler jobs easy because they had a pre-existing set of stuff to work with?
You're talking about from the original?
Yeah, from the original.
No, so pretty much all Final Fantasy VII stuff has been based on the Advent Children movie. If you, like, I don't know how familiar you are, but, like, after the wild success of Final Fantasy, they put all their eggs into one basket, which was to make an animated movie. That animated movie did absolutely dog shit. Sorry, I keep saying dog shit. At the box office. It almost completely collapsed the entire company. I believe that's actually when Squaresoft and edicts fused, I think, when they merged, I think was after Advent Children. I have to double check the history on that. But anyway, so the actual thing that you're thinking of, like, oh, did they have enough like visual information? It's because they keep redoing the Final Fantasy VII story through cinematic movies. And so they were essentially able to just translate that back into the games.
Okay, I would say that's enough then, because I was gonna say, like, if they took, oh whoopsies, I fell.
Nice.
Because if they took like basically nothing and then made what they made, I would say a lot of people would have been like, oh, we believe it's like totally faithful in the way of like, oh, these characters look like what we believe they look like, and you know, stuff like that. But if there was something, you know, at least, then
I'll say there was something, and I mean, like, you know, for the most part, people are affectionate towards the designs in Advent Children. They're anime as hell, but it's like, you know, people are.
Well, that's another thing, because I feel like a lot of people really enjoyed like Final Fantasy's like remake in terms of like how they translated it into 3D.
Yes.
So that's why I was like, I believe people at least would say like that would be an example of people being like, oh, we really like it, but also it's like an entirely new game.
Well, because there's also because the thing that they did that was really clever and from like a gameplay perspective was that from the main menu you can choose which style of game you want. Like if you want a more traditional classic Final Fantasy, like, you know, turn-based like system, you can just set it to that. Whereas like the game defaults into the character action real-time strategy.
Okay, get it to here. When you start the fight, I'm gonna go get food.
Okay, thank you. All right, we're back.
We didn't see any of this. Forget about it. Wow, he looks crazy.
Is that not
also not a big insect? Question mark.
Well, is that not what Cell looks like? Like early? Like before he turns into Perfect Cell and he has like a human face? Isn't this what Cell looks like? Once again, I know it's Toriyama, but like it looks very similar. This must be Lavos. Stand with me this battle. Okay.
Okay, well, good luck.
All right, he has multiple arms. He's shooting nipple lasers at us. Wow, that was a lot of damage. Okay, cool. So we're gonna start with you doing Luminaire. Just fuck him up. I need you to... Well, you know what? I need you to cure Chrono, and then I need her to do haste. Hey, I mean, that did great. That did great work to his arm. All right, tech, haste yourself. Because then they can do the they could do like the mega cure. Tech, Luminaire, go. Haste on you. Your... Well, do I really need to cure? I kind of don't. I don't even want a lightning rod, really. I want to do a big AoE. What do I have that's AoE? Frog squash! Get in there! 500 damage. You gotta love it. Okay. Don't I have a thing that... Yeah, restores 60. Yeah. Alright, well, I need you to, like... You need to get his arm. Okay, good.
Haha!
12 damage. Awesome. Dark Will. Hopefully this doesn't, like...
That does not seem good.
I mean, it's not great, but it's not that bad.
Okay.
Like, Chrono could technically take, like...
Oh, that's incorrect. Ooh, there I am.
Umbral Embrace.
Alright, I'm gonna be myself so I can eat.
Get him. Get him, Chrono.
Get him, lads.
Chrono and friends, it is up to you to save the world. Flames of War. That's probably okay. Yeah, he's fine, actually. It's just spamming Frost Dark the whole, like, the entire day.
I mean, 3,000's nothing to,
It's really
laugh
good.
at.
Dark Flames Embrace. Can you stop having... What the hell? Who's dead?
That's quite a bright
Holy
flame
shit,
on
he's
his face.
dead. Arise. Arise on Chrono.
Get up, Chrono. We will not have you die again.
Holy shit. And look, recovered, 100% health. You gotta... And he gets auto-hasted because of his hat.
Hell yeah. So technically, I guess it's good that
Evil
he's
Emulation... Sorry, did you just read that? Evil Emulation raises Lavos' attack.
That doesn't seem great.
That seems not good. That seems like I need to be doing like 3,000 plus damage every couple seconds to really get this guy to die.
I'm very happy now we managed to get at least those capsules.
Oh my god, did I kill him?
Was that what? No way. That's the sound of a tape rewinding?
That is. Oh.
He's a Martian?
He's an alien guy.
I mean, that does make sense.
It's humanoid. Could it have acquired the powers of every creature on this planet? That's bad, Marl. That's really bad. Jesse, Dragon 91. I always hated fighting Lavos. The last time I played, I think I fought him for over an hour and I ended up dying. Well, I hope that doesn't happen.
Zach save?
Yeah, I'm about to say, give me a second.
I don't think any of us can afford
apropos of literally nothing, we're just gonna do that real quick.
Don't worry about it. Don't look at these buttons as Zach presses a save state.
We're taking it back. Murderer. All right, let's get him. Oh, he summoned... What the fuck? Why do they have, like, baby bottle nipples on the bottom? Whoa! Look at this!
He's absorbing all the power.
I think that's literally what's happening. Also, I am like...
No,
what did you just do? You did 37 damage. Do I care? Did you just insta-kill Chrono?
Yeah, he just got lightning bolted and died.
Oh, you're following me. Oh, I didn't know that.
You guys sound cool. I'm going to follow. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm sorry you think we sound cool, because that is far from the truth.
That's not true. I sound
Thank
awesome.
you.
Saba sounds like a fucking nerd ass.
Zach sounds...
Zach sounds
see, what you
fucking
need to say.
sick.
Zach
all right?
sounds delusional. That's what that Zach sounds like.
Do you fucking mind? I'm currently trying to fight some giant space alien thing, all right? And you're...
Focus on what you're doing and
You're
stop
harshing my vibe. Dude, everybody's dying.
You're gonna remain dull, okay?
Combo Luminaire. Oh, I think he's actively switching between different bosses. Like every couple of seconds.
Yo, yeah. No, actually, I have no... what was that?
Or maybe it's just eras of time? I don't know.
I can't tell if it's, Because I was like, you know what would be cool is if what Lavos does is that he takes all of the history of all the attacks you've done and does them back to you.
I don't like that.
That would be crazy.
Okay, real quick. How much
issue?
He changes to mini bosses. No. I kind of picked up on that based on the last phase, but what is Saba, what's the over-under of me just popping one of those maximum elixirs that fully heals and fully restores MP, and then just spamming Frost Arc on the middle guy, like, over and over? Like, do you think I could just race him? He's eating. Fair enough. Okay, that one worked. Oh, and it's dead. Okay, maybe I should just kill the Lavos core. maybe that's better. Random status ailment. But isn't like everybody on my team immune to all statuses? So get fucked, idiot. Item. Restores 60. Fully restore. No, I want the one that fully restores. Yes, to the whole party. Let's go.
Oh, sorry. Man, I was so muted. So we're looking at in the back. That was the carnival stall and the bell.
And now this is the place. This is the altar where Lavos was.
So the background is like time related stuff.
Yes, I think in the sense. you know what, Saba? I think in the video game Chrono Trigger, I think it is about time.
No, you don't understand. At first, I thought the images were related to what the characters were doing, and that's why once I realized what it was, I was like, oh, it has nothing to do with
Demon
what
Star halves HP.
That's a crazy looking thing.
Wow, halves HP, but yet Marl took next to nothing. That's pretty sick.
Honestly, I love the balance out between looking at all their stuff. Frog has the highest.
Goodbye.
I
killed him.
Froggo has the highest HP, but also the lowest MP. Chrono's in the middle, and then Marl's the opposite.
Oh my god, I have to kill all three at the same time, or else he'll just keep summoning himself from the timeline. Oh, that's super fucking cool, man. That's awesome, actually.
You need to essentially kind of disperse damage.
So what I need to do is I need to make sure the little nipple guys are actually dead, and then kill the main guy.
Can we not call them nipple guys, please?
Why?
I don't know. Hearing you say that just doesn't feel right.
I don't know what you're talking about. Dude, that's actually fucking hilarious.
To be completely honest, it's been over 10 years and I don't remember the strategy. He absorbed the maul? Or the mail, maybe. It absorbed elements where it was very helpful. We recently picked it up again and I'm dreading the fight with Lavos. Well, it can't be a blast from the past if you don't do all of it,
Yeah. And I mean,
it's everyone thinks it's all the good times back in the past. You don't remember how much you suffered. That's the thing.
I don't know if that's true. Isn't that a staple of human psychology? Is that humans focus way too much on?
No, that's true. But it's even when doing stuff even if it's because sometimes you have a memory where it's overall it was good, but then you forget in between, you kind of suffered a little bit as you were doing it.
Sure. Okay.
We've definitely had that in some games. We're back in the forest.
Just fucking Luminaire. Just fucking Luminaire that bitch. Come on, dude.
This is what we brought Chrono back for, Zach. Just
literally, yes. Why is his thing not dying? Like, I'm actually gonna have a conniption. Like, why is it not dying?
I don't know. They don't come with a rule book. You have to.
But
like,
I'm dealing like fucking multiple thousands of damage. No, he's gonna do it again. What?
I don't understand.
Hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
Come on. Come on.
Okay.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Just end it. Just kill him. Come on. Come on. Come on. Kill God. No. Come on. Come on. Come on.
It definitely feels weird for it to be left to right. The right guy is the most powerful creature.
I like Lavos. I just can't beat Lavos's nipples. Is the problem? What are you laughing at?
God damn it! But is there any way you could focus on like him first a little and then? Well, it's so much damage though. I feel like
I was doing ubiquitous AOE. Like, I don't know, this baby bottle pop, like has fucking like 30,000 HP or some shit, dude. Like, what the hell am I supposed to do?
And I don't think this is one of those things where you have to hit it with something specific, because this game's never done that. I mean, in terms of like very
I don't know if you've been reading it, but it says like Lavos planning to resurrect, defenses lowered.
Well, it's not like we can give this arm amnesia, okay? To say no, stop thinking about resurrecting.
Come on, this is gonna deal like fucking. Oh, that was almost 1,000 actually. Frost Arc, get in there.
Get him.
Come on,
Get
dude. Come on.
Let this be it.
He's taking so much damage.
There it is.
Yes. What a weird boss fight, man. Of just like, hey, just one of my random summons just has a fuck ton of health. Dude, we didn't even get through all the time zones.
Oh my god, it's fun.
Oh my god, Saba, I think it's all the different time periods where Lavos could have been summoned.
I mean, that's interesting.
Because one of them was Zeal, one of them was Magus's Chamber.
Have we done it?
Hello?
Is it over? Is Chrono just gonna wake up?
I swear to God. It was all a dream.
It was all a dream.
Oh. Soldier, wake up. Your stay of execution has been withdrawn. You will accompany us to the castle. I'm getting executed?
What's happening?
I don't know.
Have we been put into a trance?
Where did you take my daughter?
What's happening? Your daughter is delusional. She was taken? This is not your daughter.
Save the future? Oh!
It's old man.
That's Doan from the far future.
Yeah.
Hey, it's your great-great-great-great-granddad.
Way back in the past, man.
Repeat reptiles.
How are you hiding behind that chair?
You undertook quite a daunting mission. These past and future members of our time, of our line told me about it.
You've actually been dead this entire time.
Chrono starts fading from existence, like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Thank you, Chrono. You have my permission to marry my daughter. Marl goes, what?
He's like, no, she doesn't go. She's like, oh, Daddy! And then the Chrono's like, wait,
Chrono, no,
when was I dating her? When did I get in?
No. The King Guardia goes, thank you, Chrono. You now have permission to date my daughter. And she goes, Daddy, no! She's like blushing super hard, like doing the anime thing, like, no! And then it just cuts to Chrono. Chrono, no emotion, staring straight forward.
And the thing is, because she's like, it's the king, what are you gonna say? No? I'm sorry, what's happening here?
Some sort of dance number? Moonlight parade begin.
See, I don't know how to feel. We just, I mean,
oh, wow! Look at all the horrible pixel lighting.
There's the guy who's just drinking. I still don't understand how the future thing works. Just because Lavos has gone, does the rules of the time continuum fade, and now everyone's just around each other?
No. They, if you were paying attention, Luca brought them for a celebration to celebrate the defeat of Lavos. Remember, Luca, like, even without the Epoch, Luca still has a time machine.
I guess that's the thing, right? She was like, because I thought the rule was, like you can only take like 2 people at a time with you to some other place. But,
No. So the way that it worked originally was that you could only have a certain number of people that left the end of time with you, right? And then technically that rule no longer applied once we had the Epoch, because the Epoch could go wherever with no rules attached, but it's really small, so it only fits 3 people. So it just so happens to be the same thing.
Maybe she upgraded the ship and now it's a giant blimp.
Oh, I don't know. Who knows? Now it's a giant blimp. Yay! More dad toys. Oh my god, it's our mom. It's kind of weird that she's just kind of off to the side.
She's the one that like she's at the parade, but she's like standing in the crowd clapping.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, you'd think she'd be a lot more significant, I guess.
I mean, we didn't even tell her that her son died. I mean, it was implied that she kind of knew. But
I was about to say, I don't remember what the scene was. I don't know if we got it or not, but there is a scene that does imply that she knows. Wow, it's crazy that of the 3 gurus, Melchior is the one that just gets to kind of like live a real life now. Because Gaspar is the man at the end of time. He's just an old man beneath a street lamp. And then Balthazar put his consciousness in a new. So. Yay! Yay!
I'm just popping out of yay!
Man, you know it's a celebration when beautiful women are just popping out of the ground like candy. Also,
Remember
why am I?
guy
Also, hold on. Why am I Marl?
From in the morning? I don't know. I was thinking that when we talked to her mom, or I mean, Chrono's mom.
There's a part of me that wants to believe it's because of like it's Marl's personality. Like I imagine in my mind, she's dragging Chrono around by his hand.
Chrono's just in a half sleepy state.
No, he's just, I don't know, overwhelmed. There's everybody. Well, everyone, this is it. Oh, right, because everyone has to go back to their original time.
Though...
The gate is growing weak now that Lavos is gone. Right, because the gates were created by the time distortion caused by Lavos, period. Does this also
I
mean that
understand
we
like
just don't
literally
have
everyone
magic
else.
anymore?
Or like what's happening to like what will happen to Robo? Because it's like all the other times I guess makes sense. But wasn't the apocalypse?
I mean, I can tell you what
because
canonically
Lavos?
happens to Robo.
Sure, I guess. I
He
don't think
ceases
they'll
to
tell me.
exist because the future that we saw that led to Robo's creation. Well, remember
Yeah,
the
because it's
fact
gone, right?
the factory that made Robo was around during the time of Lavos' awakening back in 1999. So it's like, I mean, I guess they could just make another Robo, but it wouldn't be our
Is it
Robo.
is it like a Baymax situation, you think?
If Baymax like resets his gets his mind reset, I guess. It's just weird because of these characters, Robo's the only one who's from the future.
And Magus is
Well,
sister
Magus is
should be
also from
alive.
the past, right? Technically.
Yeah, but his sister should be alive as well, right?
Uh I guess that's the part that I don't really remember. If you defeat Lavos, do you defeat Lavos throughout all of time? Like what about all
I
the
mean, I
other
feel like that
what
makes
about all the other
sense.
planets that Lavos like siphoned all the life energy from before he came to our planet? Goodbye, my wife. I'll miss you. You're my distant ancestors, so you better have strong, healthy kids or I'll be in trouble. Man, don't you love it when you just tell your ancient ancestor to fuck real good? Which era did you defeat Lavos from? I don't know. We just went to the bucket. So when we initially started the fight with Lavos, it was from the Black Omen. Because apparently if you don't defeat Queen Zeal in the Black Omen, she like
Lavos fight is
heals
harder.
Lavos or something like that in the fight, I guess.
I don't think we recall when we got into the Black Omen though, or what time period.
It might have been the medieval era. Because I'm trying to think, what was the last side quest that we
That
did?
sounds relatively right.
Well, because the last side quest we did was Aussie Castle, right? Was the
Yeah,
we had to go
I think
back to do that, and that's the medieval era, I think.
Oh yeah, because you accidentally missaved or whatever.
You know, dumb. Isla go now.
She just shoved him in there. Goodbye, frog.
Man, I'm actually getting a little fucked up because it really is. It is actually the scene from Pokemon Mystery Dungeon where it's everybody saying goodbye.
Oh no, she's mooched him instead.
She thought that maybe it would turn him back into a person.
I'm not sure if that's the logic in this world, but I don't think so. Goodbye, frog.
Going to search for Shala?
Did he just moonwalk out of here?
He's so moody.
Luca's like, I know what's gonna happen. Oh no.
Robo was born in a bleak future. When we defeated Lavos, we change history. The world will never be ruined now. Robo may not exist in the future. You are the one who taught me to consider the feelings of others in that manner, Luca. I'm grateful for that. Oh my fucking god.
I'm getting
going
upset.
to cry.
I'm already crying.
Oh my god.
Is there any way to like copy his like thing?
In a literal oh my god, he's crying and so he stumbled and hit the thing. Man, it is kind of fucked up that like by defeating Lavos and saving the day, the thing that was allowing everybody to stay together and hang out, like now they have to go back. Like if Lavos was like subdued but not dead, we could all hang out and it would be totally fine. But like that would obviously be worse for the entire world.
I forgot, what was the entity again? What did we just like to talk about? About what like decided what it was?
It's a creature from space. The Lavos that we saw, the big bug tick looking thing, was essentially the equivalent of a biological spaceship.
Okay. Well, I didn't think it would happen. Cats?
Oh, you naughty thing, come back here.
Are they gonna jump in there and the mom's gonna run too and this is gonna be like the no mother? Oh god. Oh my god. What are you talking about?
See, this is what I'm talking about. It's like, yeah, the gate is closing. We still have the epoch. The epoch is straight up just a time machine.
Oh, I'm so pissed. This game made me cry just to be like, we have time machine.
You knew that.
No, I know. Doesn't make it any less sad.
I have a gift for you, Nadia. To commemorate this day. It's a bell.
It's balloons?
Oh my god, it is actually a bell.
Oh, it is a bell. Well, there you go.
It's Nadia's bell. It used to be Lean's bell, and now he commissioned a new one for his daughter.
Oh.
Do you remember what the significance of Lean's bell was?
Nope, that was way too long ago.
It was the bell that was rung at her wedding. So now there's Nadia's bell.
Oh.
But I have places to be. Goodbye, Dad. Just, Nadia. Nadia. Oh, we flew away.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Papa. He's like trying to hold it up.
I could use your... Oh,
there's fireworks and they fly off in fireworks.
Wow. What a good game, man.
That was a good game.
Akira Toriyama.
Worry me. Well, there they go.
Man, it's so sad because, like, I know that there is a long history of people trying to recreate the feeling of this game, narratively, aesthetically,
I don't know
mechanically.
How you'd be able to.
Well, I mean, like there was a there are a couple games on Steam that I bought that were trying specifically to replicate like the feeling of Chrono Trigger.
This feeling. Yeah, this feeling.
Well, and then also they had like time travel narratives and like, you know, this, that, and the other thing. And like not only in my experience, but like in the experience of like people's experiences in general, it's pretty clear that like nothing's really come close. You know?
It's hard because it's like, oh, look at them. So he is alive. I'm happy that confirms he is alive. Frog's still Frog. I guess I kind of feel bad about
I'm about to say, fuck you, Magus.
and to this day, he is still moonwalking.
Well, he's looking for his sister, I guess, but that's like...
I hope he finds her. Because he's still technically an old man. It's because it's not. It hasn't changed where he still grew up with her. Like, she's still gone.
I had a different ending, but I won't
cool
spoil
ending.
it, lol. This was the first game that literally made me cry because I was so invested in everything. It's...
Oh, I kind of want to know the different endings. I
We
don't.
can look-
I feel
we can
like
look
we
it up
should
in
have
a
gotten
minute.
the best one, right?
I think that's the best ending, because we did all the side quests, we got all the characters, we beat Zeal, which I know is optional. We did that.
I guess I can ask Jesse. Is everything besides like is like the music the same and just the cutscenes are different? Like, I don't know if it's like a worse ending. I wonder if they changed the music. It's like,
I wonder.
wow, you really
I
sucked.
wonder if there's. I wonder there's a version of this ending where we defeat Lavos, but it's temporary. You know.
Yeah. That is.
That's really funny. That it's literally just the world map wrapped around a sphere.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
There's nothing on the other side. Both. Ooh. So if you screw up, I think because the music in this it's like very hopeful and stuff. So that's another reason why I was thinking that we got a really good ending. But yeah, if it's a bad ending, man, they're gonna really drive it home with depressing music and.
Well, I mean, I guess there's technically a version of this that we could have done without Chrono, right? Because like it's entirely possible.
Chrono, yeah.
It's entirely possible to get to the end without him.
It's entirely possible.
What a game, man.
And just watch as the last second, like, the world explodes or something.
Boom! Different bad guy that we didn't know about the whole time.
Hopefully that's not a Lavos flying through space.
It is. It like flew past
Shush,
the planet, though,
shush.
so we're fine.
The end. Yay!
Do we even know what the name of this planet was?
Don't know. There's a
I don't think we
specific
do.
time to defeat Lavos, and if you beat it without Chrono, it's like he's just, oh yeah, that kind of sucks. So he's
And
just
the
gone.
future refused to change. Wrong, motherfucker! Through perseverance and a lot of looking up walkthroughs, we changed the world, motherfucker! Oh, God, what a game, dude.
We did it!
I feel hollow inside.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you, Colton. Yay! You feel what? Sorry, what was that?
Hollow.
Oh, really? You're like, we spend so much time
We've
with this.
been playing this game for more than 4 months. Like, not even including, like, the game nights that we did in between and, like, other stuff. Like, we're actually closer to 5 months of playing this game. And it's over now. Like, there is no time. Like, I will never be able to play Chrono Trigger for the first time ever again.
Yeah.
It's hilarious how he said he feels hollow, and then the Celebration kid starts screaming with excitement. I feel hollow. Yay! Well, I mean, I guess this is where we do our normal thing, Sava. We just finished the game, so I guess we gotta talk about it.
Yep.
Obviously, that Chrono Trigger is fucking incredible. There's a reason why it endures. There's a reason why I now understand why people are really anxious about there maybe being a Chrono Trigger remake. Because it's like, it doesn't need it, really. Like, at all. I don't know. It's like...
We kind of talked about our feelings on this, like, last week.
Right. Because
so I'm not sure how much more I have, I guess.
Well, I mean, I guess the thing that I kind of want to talk about a little bit is that, like, once again, haven't played Chrono Cross myself, but am very familiar with the game. And it's like, it is crazy that they insisted on tying it to this game. because like you'll recall that I told you that like the idea is that Chrono Cross is the new future, right?
Yeah.
Or rather, it's the broken timeline of the old future, but in a reality that never had Lavos. Or it did, but Lavos like never woke up or whatever. And so, but it's like it's just such a fundamentally different game. And so it's like I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, dude, I keep thinking about the Chrono Break, right? Like that, just that fan trailer that I sent you, and it's like I remember the creator was talking about like, yeah, it'd be really cool if like you got to have like Shala as like a party member, and like you went through other periods of time. Because think about like how many, because I talked about it before, but like Chrono Trigger was very heavily inspired by Live Alive, right? Which is like a different remake that you can play on the Switch nowadays. And I think they did a really great job of picking their battles in terms of like the time periods that they had, because they had like the far future, the like prehistory, modern day, and medieval times, right? Like it was essentially 4 periods of time. And then you kind of had ancient, like, right? You had like ancient zeal, but that was more of like a weird fantasy, like magic kind of zone. But like it leaves plenty of like aesthetic space that you could fit into. Like imagine a version of this where it's like, you know, once again, just to reiterate like the proposed narrative of Chrono Break, where it's like there's the fucking like there's like a 4th dimensional being whose whole job is to like quote repair the timeline, and they're like, well, you killed Lavos and he's supposed to be here, so, and he's trying to like bring Lavos back or whatever, right? And it's like that would be kind of cool to see that, and it's like, oh, it's a new story, and you go to like feudal Japan and like cowboy era, and you know maybe even go back to prehistory, but this time it's all, you know, whatever. It's like different in a way. I don't know. It's just I want
Seems
more.
like Jesse has a similar opinion to you in regards to Chrono
I started
Cross.
with Chrono Cross and then went to Chrono Trigger. Personally, every time I play Chrono Cross, I can only get to 45% and then can't keep going. But the tie-ins are great from Chrono Trigger. Sure. And like that's the thing is like Chrono Cross is about like changing realities, right? Rather than changing time periods. So they did like, you know, it is kind of tied in, but like different in its own way. But like, I don't know. I guess all I can really say is that like I want more Chrono Trigger.
Well, there's something special about it, you know? So it's like, yeah, I can see it.
I don't know, man. I'm just so sad that like these great characters are now just like gone.
I think the thing is too is that this is so, it's not like super old, but like this was the first, and there's something eclectic about.
What do you mean by first?
One of like the first really like big games in terms of like that's like, you know, lasted the span of time and stuff.
Oh well, I mean like it's old, but I mean like, you know, you had I think what 5 Final Fantasy games before this, right? Like there were and you had like, and I think you had like maybe 4 Dragon's Quest games, maybe even 6.
Well, I think
this,
you'd be able to
like,
understand. It's just like the span of time, right? In terms of like, I think the intentions behind like game makers' passion was a lot. I don't want to say simpler, but it was a lot more. I think like, you know, back in the day, it felt like a lot more pure in some instances. Not to say it doesn't now, but it's like, maybe in my eyes, there's just like it's kind of like innocent in like their passion, and they just wanted to make something great, right? And like it feels free of like complications and stuff that I feel like modern day has to a certain degree, but it could just be a weird.
But
like,
I don't know what you mean by complications. Are you talking about like microtransactions and like financial incentive? Like, what do you mean?
It could be like the state of like, you know, the industry. It could be like so many like kind of things that happen that kind of like, you know, depressed people's opinions on like how things are going and whatnot. Because if this was more towards like the beginning,
this is a very hopeful narrative. It is about beating the bad guy and saving the day. where I don't think a lot of
Yeah.
narratives nowadays are like that. That is true. I could see that.
Yeah, I think you got what I was saying in the end. So yeah, it feels like there's this simplicity that's just so good about this. So and that's why it stands the test of time. And it's always about time.
It's always about time. Guess that means we're done.
Yeah, and that
Short
was
stream.
an hour 14.
All right. Well, for me, the characters don't reach a level of engagement as in the past. Newer games are so fast-paced that you don't get as invested in it. I like that's true, but you can still you still definitely have games nowadays where you can get invested in the characters. I just don't feel like it's just not profitable is the thing, or rather, it's not as profitable, and that's the part that irks me, right?
Or maybe you're also being barraged with so many games. It's hard to sift through and find something that would connect to you personally, because it's like
I guess that's true.
You may have a ton that are saying like people are like this is good, this is bad, this is good, but it's like who knows until you actually play it.
I guess that's true, because it's like I don't know. I'm trying to think because we play. I mean, I say we, mostly me, play a lot of indie games, but like most of the stuff I play is like I don't know. It's like Balatro and Monster Train and stuff where there's not really characters per se. I'm trying to think. What was the last game? What was the most new game that we played, either on stream or otherwise, that had characters that we actually like really gave a shit about? Like
on stream?
Like, well, or in general, I guess, because I know you care about Genshin Impact, but that's because you're like brain dead.
Oh,
so it's
hell
like,
yeah. Genshin's narrative is really good, though. Also, it's like 4 layers, and
I'm talking about the
like,
characters.
A chunk of it. No, I know, but even like the lore behind the characters, it's like it has a lot of depth to it. But I'm trying to think because that's not finished yet, and I don't think that's also fair. Like so.
I'm trying to think because it's like I really like Hat Time. Like that's not like super new, but I really like Hat Time. But that's no.
They pissed me off with Ori. The character. I mean, if it's made me cry, then it's easy to make me cry. But like at the same time,
I'm about to say I think that's different. I think that I like Ori is a great game with a great like kind of like soft narrative, but like
I guess it's not as in depth though.
It's not really. It's not really like. It's not like or none of the characters in Ori in the Blind Forest or Will of the Wisps are really like capital present. C characters.
Well, but they're also not really present, right? Because you're basically just playing as Ori.
Right.
Okay, I'll have to adjust.
Trying to think.
It's mainly like RPGs with like parties, right?
Yeah.
I feel like
you got Octopath and Octopath 2. And I mean, like, I liked what I played of Octopath 2. I've been meaning to go back to it, but it's like different. RPGs are so heavy. And that's the other thing that I want to say about Chrono Trigger, by the way, is that a lot of RPGs feel very heavy to play, like mentally and like just trying to like keep track of all the stuff going on. Whereas this felt very light. Like it just made sense. Undertale is one I can think on top of my head.
Would you say
good,
Baldur's
Gate? Very good. Oh, Baldur's Gate? Also true. Although Baldur's Gate is a little bit different
because Zach would throw like Will out like the window.
Will doesn't deserve to exist. But yeah.
There you go. See?
Red Dead Redemption was the last game I feel I was invested in. I was furious when Arthur died at the end. First off, spoilers. And then you go to John. Playing as John made me feel empty inside. I mean, that's also fair. These are both very good suggestions. Undertale, Undertale, a million percent.
Chunk of people did like when they were like, if you could resurrect a game character, who would it be? And they did bring up Red Dead. So it's like
I fully believe that, and that makes a lot of sense. Like Red Dead isn't my speed, but I get it. You know. Like, I just feel bad because now I'm just trying to think.
But Jesse, unless someone else hasn't seen it yet, I hopefully we all know. Legend of Zelda? In like this weird kind of way. They're all kind of different, but they're all the same, you know?
Well, I'm thinking of like Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, or whatever, right? Like, there are characters that I like, but are they really the... Like, I don't know. I was super fucking invested in Zelda's thing. But then, like, Tears of the Kingdom just had such a fucked up narrative, you know? Just because they told it in such a disjointed way. I don't know.
Well, I mean, some of the revelations still, I think, hit pretty hard. But it's like, I guess we're all kind of
Tears
like
of the Kingdom?
generic... Right? What isn't it that, the twist of, like...
You're talking about like
Zelda?
the thing. You're talking about like the thing that happens to Zelda in the past.
No, not that. I think the biggest twist that remains in my mind was like us figuring out, like, I don't want to spoil it just in case, but like what the dragon was at the beginning.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's what happens to her in the past.
No, I know, but I'm talking about when the moment we like realized it. That's like when I was thinking about like the twist and stuff.
Because when I was talking about telling the narrative in a disjointed way, I was talking about the fact that you essentially get the exact same story 4 times in a row. Oh my gosh, that part. It messed me up. And so I want to point out, Jesse, obviously you weren't here for it because you only just recently got the stream. When we played Tears of the Kingdom on stream, Saba had like a fucking 2-month-long vacation or whatever. So we binged all of the dragon tier like things. We did all that. So we experienced what happens with the dragon. And then I had to wait fucking 2 months to get the resolution that happens at the end of the game. And it fucking pissed me off. I was like, dude, are you shitting me? I'm stuck with this fucking dragon for the rest of my life? God damn, it pissed me off so much. And then Saba came back and we finished the game and it was fine. But like, I still hold on to that emotion a lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess in many ways it's like, maybe it is just a little bit of rose-tinted glasses. Maybe it's just because I know that Chrono Trigger has stood the test of time that I'm kind of like putting it on a pedestal in my mind. But like, there definitely are games that have, come out. Like, even within the last like 5-6 years, like even less than that, like 3-4 years. There are games that have come out that have had characters that I really care about.
I think the thing is once again, with Chrono Trigger, there's kind of a charming simplicity to the narrative of like, obviously we're out to save the world, right? But even like the characters are so pure in their like motivation.
None of these characters, minus Chrono, who is kind of like tofu, right? None of these characters feel like they started from the same place, but they're all great characters in their own way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and sometimes it's like in modern games, it's like, oh, their stories are super complex and, that does make them interesting characters. But it's like, there is just a charming attraction to have 2 characters like in Chrono Trigger.
Like, is Isla a good character or is she just like hot lady?
She's a little bit more like generic.
She's a little bit more generic, but she does have that really cool like moment of like, she will kick ass and take names. You know what I mean? And that is really endearing, you know what I mean, in its own way. But like in terms of her narrative, it's just like, nah, she just, she beats the shit out of a T-Rex and then is like, all right, I join you now. you know?
And I had like a little post discussion last time about like what I actually thought. Like, not all of them are like super complex characters, but that still doesn't make it like amusing, right? Like having the archetypal of Isla is like, she's still fun as a character.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Because it's like, I'm thinking of
yeah.
Sorry, I'll let you finish.
Yeah, but I think another thing I can add too, it's like, even if Robo didn't have like all like his directive and, figuring out,
Well, I mean, his character arc was learning how to be more human, right? And it's like,
yeah, but what it ended up being, it's like, even if that wasn't there, like when you have a personality that's kind of just like, once again, good, right? It's still, you still garner affection for it.
When you say good, you mean good as in quality or good as in like being a nice person?
He like being a good person.
And he is. It's very true.
Yeah.
Because he's defective, which is hilarious to think of in that way.
Yeah.
I love her strength, but for the character engagement within themselves, it was more Luca, Robo, and Marl with Chrono for me. I mean, I don't know. In my mind, I feel like the strongest character was Frog. Like I think I
talked about it, but
like he's just so heroic.
Frog, Luca had her moment with her mom, which I think was the strongest. Robo, of course, with like Robo had like an intense thing.
Marl had an intense. Marl had like once again, I will reiterate. Marl had some of the best character like definition early on, where like she agonizes and gets fucking ripped from the timeline because of about like the fuckery that happens. And then even after that, she's like, no, I still want to save the world. And it's like, dude, if that happened to me, if I was atomized from the timeline, I would have been like, dude, take me home. I'm fucking done.
I want my mommy, please.
I want my mom, dude. I just got like literally only 2 people in all of history have ever experienced that before, and that's me and that motherfucker right there. I look at Chrono, who's just staring.
Flashbacks. So.
But yeah, I think you're right though. I think it's the fact that it's like they are simple, like they're simple but very, very strong characters. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like it's nice to have characters that have like more dimensions to them, I suppose. But once again, just none of them feel like they really overlap in any way that would make them uncomfortable, I guess. And also it's really, really fucking convenient, and like, I don't know, I guess maybe just in today's day and age, who knows, it feels really nice to have a purely non-sympathetic main bad guy being Lavos. Like, Lavos is just an otherworldly being.
Like there's no emotion, like the emotion attached to it. He's just a bad person.
He's literally just I want more power. I'm going to suck it out of your planet. Get fucked.
Or even if it's like animalistic, right? And it's like, I'm doing this to survive. Like you're literally destroying a planet. We don't care, you know? So yeah, I enjoyed that. And it was cool because it's like we had Magus first, but then like obviously that switched over. So it's cool, right? So it wasn't even just like, you know, all the way through at one point.
Because there was a thing that happened in Live Alive that was very interesting, where of the 8 like characters that you play as, each one has their own like villain. But when you do the secret like 9th campaign at the end, which is like the true ending or whatever, where all the evil spirits come together, it's revealed that they all shared the same like dark energy throughout time. And it was so like the idea was that the actual ultimate bad guy was just this like spirit of darkness that would infest somebody, and then just that would be, you know, the villain that you were encountering in that particular timeline. And it's like it's weird to think that like who was it? Like each timeline did have its own villain, I think. Well, who was the villain in the future? Was there a villain in the future?
No, I think it was like hunger.
I guess just the fact that the world was. Well, actually, you have Mother, right? Mother, the robot in the factory. Where remember her whole thing was, or not her whole thing, but like one of her objectives was purposefully preventing humans from like recovering.
Yeah, okay.
So I mean, I guess she's technically it, but not really.
Like an unknown villain to like
to the people. Like if we had never gone to that factory, they would never know in a million years. You know what I mean? Because like in prehistory, it was Azala, right? Because Azala was like, I'm going to kill all human beings because I am a lizard person. And then you have Queen Zeal, who arguably. It's really funny to think of that, like, Magus was the boss at first, and then it was like, it opened up to be Lavos. But it's really interesting that Queen Zeal really was like Lavos' like second in command.
Yeah, and as like unlike Lavos, which is probably just a creature entity that I don't even know, probably not like smart as much as Queen Zeal as a human was.
Jesse says, I'm so glad I found your channel. I feel like I'm speaking with kindred spirits. Well, hell yeah. Feel free to come back. We're doing Professor Layton next week if you have any interest. I better start playing my Live Alive game and remove it from my backlog. It's super good. I will reiterate, by the way, just as like, you know, apropos of just me talking, I guess. The thing that I found most fascinating about Live Alive was that all 8 campaigns start from the same basic, like, mechanical structure. Because they're all just like an RPG, right? But then each one adds 1 or 2 mechanics that make it really distinct. Like the near future campaign, which is the one where you get to pilot like a big mecha at the end or whatever. Your special thing is just that your character was born with the ability to read people's minds. And so when you walk up to somebody, you can press X to talk to them, and then you can press Y to read their mind. And it's like, it gives you way more insight into these characters. And I'm like, dude, why has there, like, I have never played a video game where you could do that before. Well, that's not true. I guess you can in Hollow Knight, because in Hollow Knight you get the Dream Nail and you get to like hit people and read their minds or whatever. But like, that's crazy for an RPG. Like, could you imagine in Baldur's Gate 3 if instead of having to cast like read thoughts, if that was just something you could do? Like whenever you talk to somebody, you could just be like, "Hey, what are you thinking, motherfucker?" You know, it would double the amount of dialogue in the game, but that'd be kind of cool in and of itself. Anywho, sorry, we've been sitting on this the end screen forever.
All right, like it. The music's nice.
God, it's so like I can you double check that list of vinyls that I sent you? Did I put the Chrono Trigger vinyl on there?
I don't think so. I think you pinged it as well, so pinned it.
Because like I'm thinking of it now, and it's like, man, if I didn't have it, how often do you guys stream? We stream every weekend. The problem is that our schedule is kind of in flux right now in terms of when we actually start streaming, because I just moved across the country. So like this week we started at 6 p.m. my time. Next week we're starting at 10 a.m. and we're gonna give that a shot to see, because normally so Saba here, this cat, she's also streaming, by the way, if you want to go find her. I think it's The Dawn of, right, is her channel, if you want to go give her a follow.
So it's just, and over here Zach's a greedent, a squirrel essentially, so we're like both.
Saba has made a nasty habit of stealing my content so that way she can try to siphon subscribers from me. My one subscriber who doesn't show up to stream anymore. But yeah, anyway, so we'll be back next week, and normally there's 4 people here. It would be me, Saba, Grant, and Adrian, and they're the 2 that aren't here. But yeah, so we'll be back next week with Professor Layton. Tomorrow we'll be back with 13 Sentinels, which would be great. I still have no idea how far away we are from the ending of 13 Sentinels.
Which, Jesus Christ, if anyone has any intention to play 13 Sentinels, just do it and don't look at anyone's playing it, because we haven't even done with it, but there's so many revelations and crazy stuff that I genuinely, I mean, hopefully it ends well, because God, if
13 Sentinels doesn't stick the landing, I think I'm going to like eat a pipe bomb.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna I'm gonna hopefully give myself amnesia so I don't recall like the past check
the story percentages. It should give you a general idea. No, I know, but to be fair, some of the stories take longer than others to get through. And it's like, and also if you're saying that, I think we're at like 48% on the narrative, and I'm like, dude, are you fucking telling me we have another 52% of the narrative?
Well, don't forget, like, we're also...
We haven't even started Gotos! Okay, we have 100% of Gotos to do!
I'm so concerned. We hope it turns out well, but based off what everyone else is saying, it's fine. But I don't know, I've got personal qualms, so if everyone, like, dies, I'm gonna be like, I don't freaking care, even if other people say it's good, I'm gonna be depressed as hell. But hopefully that's not the case, and we'll just deal with it, you know?
Hopefully that's not the case,
It's interesting so far.
Alright, well, that's Chrono Trigger. That was 5 months. Man, can you think of where you were 5 months ago? I think you're probably in the same place, although your house was probably a lot less constructed.
Oh God, yeah, we had a
whole house. I think that was deep. I think when we started episode 1, I think they were still like sanding down your desk or something. I don't know. It was loud. I know that.
Drilling our entire house.
True. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's a stream. Good night, everybody. I guess we'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific for 13 Sentinels, and then next week we'll be back again with Professor Layton at 10 a.m. We're gonna give that a shot. I will point out, by the way, I got out of bed at 10 a.m. today, so it's like that's gonna be different for me.
I mean, I've been getting up at like kind of 7:30 to 8, so it'll be fine for me. But hopefully, I can like eat breakfast first. Should be fine.
All right. Well,
goodbye, Chrono Trigger.
Goodbye, Chrono Trigger. Goodbye, Saba. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, Jesse. Goodbye, Golden Wise.
Goodbye,
man,
guys.
I'm sorry. You can leave, Saba, but like I'm like sad.
I'm sorry. There's no way I can go to sleep.
Yeah, like this genuinely feels like I'm waving goodbye to like a car full of like the best people I've ever known. You know?
Well, just think about it like this: we'll find more people in good cars, or more good people in other cars, and
you know what I'll do?
we'll
You know
persevere.
you know what I'll do as a kindness to myself? I'll eat a sleeve of Oreos. All right, good night,
Oh my
everybody.
God.
Good
Fine.
night.